my fourth.
Dude, he does great stuff.
Hey guys, this is Caleb King of thecalebking.com. You're here at C2E2, and I just want you to say, hey, subscribe to Raze Chaos.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel. You have made it back to part 2. Part 2 of this insane exploration between the 100 collectible comic book cover postcards from Spider-Man that Raze got from the Spider-Man exhibit in Chicago that's still going on. Just check out Beyond Amazing Spider-Man. This is a Museum of Science Technology in Chicago. It's still going on, and they had this box set of Spider-Man collectible postcards, or Spider-Man covers, and Raze picked it up. Raze has already gone through another one. You can check out that video if you want. I believe Raze is starting up a playlist since we've gotten to video 2 on this. But there will be 4. Raze is going to go through 24 at a time. Hopefully this won't be as long as the previous one, but and considering that we don't have as many first appearances as we obviously did in the first 24 or 25, yeah, I mean, when you're going with the Spider-Man and you're going through his history, really glazed over version of his history, you really you have a lot of first appearances, obviously, especially the first 25 of them. I mean, it was just like every issue was a new iconic villain that showed up. Thankfully, we are at the second one, the second batch, and I believe this starts out at 121, Amazing Spider-Man 121. So obviously, we've gone over a lot of first appearances at this point. Yeah, that thing was kind of brutal trying to get through because it was just one after another. It's just like, oh, here's another one, here's another one, and it just really felt like they weren't breaking it up much. They were just giving issue by issue. But hopefully that'll be different now. We're going to go ahead and put this guy away, and we are going to dive into this. So as I said, we have issue 121, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 121. It is, yeah, John Romita cover. So we're kind of out of the Steve Ditko, which he pretty much dominated the first 24. You know, he didn't make it all the way through, but like he was pretty much there constantly. And this is, I'll just go ahead and read the cover. It's Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see. Someone close to me is about to die. Someone I cannot save. My spider sense is never wrong. But who? Who? And yes, it's got like, not a trick, not an imaginary tale, but the most startling, unexpected turning point in this web slinger's entire life. How could Spider-Man go on after being faced with the most unbelievable death? And don't dare miss this issue's shocking surprise supervillain. And yeah, somebody's gonna die in this issue. And spoiler alert for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Spider-Man lore, this is actually the issue that Gwen Stacy dies. A lot of people are a little confused, and you might be like, "Oh, Raze, why did you go ahead and spoil that and everything?" Because Raze can already see the next cover. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 121: The Death of Gwen Stacy, coming at you. And like I said, yes, I could see, and as I said, you could see the next one going on right away. And that is Amazing Spider-Man number 20, issue 22. So yeah, that one had, surprise villain. Yeah, the surprise villain, obviously, Green Goblin. This is this is after the death of Gwen Stacy. and they're just lugging her corpse around, apparently. Heads up, wall crawler. First, I finished off Gwen Stacy, and now it's your turn. Wrong, Goblin. You murdered the only girl I'll ever love. Ooh, that didn't really age well. And today's the day you're going to die. It is the Goblin's last stand. So which one of these two is the one that's going to die in this issue? Well, considering that there is an Amazing Spider-Man number 123. Yeah, this is actually the death of Norman Osborn as Green Goblin. This is when he actually originally dies, I guess you'd say. He has come back. But for a long time after this, he was considered dead. This is another John Romita cover. Yeah, I believe Raze even has the Funko comic cover of this issue with Green Goblin, thank goodness. But yeah, the issue in which Green Goblin passes away, and Gwen Stacy starts the issue dead and ends the issue dead, and yeah, it's just let's put her on the cover because that's really fun. So yeah, that's another real. A lot of people see this as the issue that Gwen Stacy dies, but she actually dies in the issue beforehand. So a lot of people get that mixed up, especially treasure hunters who are looking for key issues. That last issue was the death of Gwen Stacy. This issue is Spider-Man's battle with Green Goblin that ends up with Green Goblin taking the Goblin glider to the chest. So this is so much fun. And next up, what do we have? We have Spider-Man number 131. What issue was that? 122 to 131. So they are going to start jumping a little bit more. Thank goodness. And this is Amazing Spider-Man. No, the wedding will not take place. But it will, wall crawler, over your dead body. Aunt May marrying Dr. Octopus? That's just the start of the greatest action-ish ever. I like that this is absolutely Stan Lee editorial going on here. Action-ish. Yeah, he abbreviated issue to ish. The greatest action-ish ever. And it's got the win with this ring. The web. The puns. Stan Lee was a very punny guy. But it is not a joke. This is when Dr. Octopus was going to marry Aunt May.
Sorry, Ock. This time your reach exceeds your grasp.
And if that seems very odd to you, let's just say Aunt May happened to inherit an island. Because, as you do, she had a relative that left an island to her, and this island neighbors another island that has a nuclear facility on it, and with a nuclear lab. And yeah, you suddenly see where the interest Dr. Octopus has. Owning the island would give him a much greater vantage point to actually infiltrate this. This is actually from 1974, and the artist is actually Gil Kane with Gil Kane did the cover of this one. It's really cool, and it's one of those things that keeps popping back. There's always that reminder that yeah, Dr. Octopus almost married Aunt May. How messed up is that? So, next up we have another John Romita cover. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 136, also from 1974. 136. You, Harry Osborn, but it can't be you who've turned against me. It can't be. It is, for the Green Goblin lives again. And yes, this is the issue in which Harry Osborn basically takes his father's equipment and becomes the new Green Goblin.
You're all mine, Norman. Harry? Harry's the Goblin now?
And it takes that dynamic from Peter Parker's best friend being the son of his greatest enemy to becoming his greatest enemy. Because Harry blames Spider-Man for the death of Green Goblin. So when the revealing takes place, as to, oh my God, you're one and the same. They kind of did a good job in the Tobey Maguire movie showing the hatred for Spider-Man, even though he was Peter Parker's best friend. But we don't talk about that Harry Osborn anymore. They kind of kicked him out of Hollywood. It's fun looking back on all these people who basically couldn't hide their bad behavior. Harry Osborn actually more mentally damaged than actually evil, but still, grief will do a lot of things to you. Which leads us again. What this was? We'll take a look again here. This is 136, and then we jump to 149. A nice big jump, and 149. The Amazing Spider-Man 149. One web slinger must slay the other, or Ned Leeds is doomed. Either way, the Jackal will have his revenge. The astonishing climax of the Spidey Jackal War. Even if I live, I die.
But then Parker's path crossed with a brilliant scientist, an expert in genetic cloning. His name was
Miles Warren.
Ah, I see you've met him. Well, he cloned Spider-Man. To make matters worse, the clone escaped.
Very dramatic. But this issue, actually, this issue by itself kicked off such a long plot point used that has never really died. This is a very, very key issue if you're a Spider-Man fan. And a big reason for that is because this is actually the Spider clone. This is the Spider clone that is supposedly dead in this issue by the end of it. But he has that quick moment even in this issue of, well, was that actually the clone? Or am I the clone? And that's a question that comes back to bother Spider-Man again and again and again. And this is apparently the death of the Spider clone, even though that Spider-Man does return, that Spider clone does return. Spoiler alert. And I'm sure we'll dig into that later on in these covers, because this was a plot point, like, unlike the Dr. Octopus marrying Aunt May that may get mentioned, later on. This one keeps coming back, and this is the one that kicked it all off with Spider-Man number 149. That leads us to Spider-Man 150, because, I love when they put sequential issues in here, because it's like, pick one already. It really kind of shows that during the heyday of the Amazing Spider-Man, especially in the 70s, this is 1975, that basically there's a big reason why Spider-Man is in the position he is because every issue just came with more and more and more. And that is a big problem with the big connected universes. Because how do you make one character seem bigger when the entire universe wrapped around him? You know, you wrap a universe around a character and they just seem smaller by default. He's just another one of the heroes, as opposed to at this point, while it was a connected universe, everybody kind of stayed to their own issue. And let's see, it's like Amazing Spider-Man number 150, Vulture, Kingpin, Sandman, my old foes returning to attack me together? This is a nightmare, or am I going mad? This is it, Webhead's wondrous 150th issue. Well, little spoiler alert. Old foes returning to attack me together? No, they're not. This is a nightmare, or am I going mad? No, you're not going mad. This is not actually these villains returning. This is actually Alistair Smythe creating robots of all these villains, and that's why they all seem to attack Spider-Man at once. Because I believe it's Alistair Smythe? It's either Alistair or Spencer, but I think it's still Alistair at this point. Or that it is Alistair at this point. With his spider-slaying robots. Yeah, all the villains are robots in this. Spoiler alert. But it's Marvel, and this issue came out in 1975 with a great little Gil Kane cover. If I spoil anything for you, it's because you ain't been reading, and you need to read, because Raze will spoil crap for you. And we go straight on to 151, Amazing Spider-Man 151. We're still in the sequential issues, aren't we? That was what, 150? Yeah, that was a big 150. Now we're on 151. Let's see. Flooding. This sewer won't help you, mister. Only one of us is leaving here alive. Can you guess the shocking secret identity of Spider-Man's super foe? Wow. Well, this is fun. I don't think Raze even knows that. It is another Gil Kane cover, which she did very excellent work. It's really dynamic with the sewer stuff coming, or the water coming in, and you know, the impending doom coming up from behind him. But yeah, Raze hasn't read this one, so he doesn't know who the shocking villain is in this one. As much as he'd love to. He always tells you when he doesn't know. But the only thing Raze really knows of this issue, and that's primarily out of trivia, is that this is the issue where Spider-Man finally dumps the body of the spider clone. I mean, it died, how many issues ago did they die? So, in 149 is when the spider clone first appears and is killed. And it's issue 151 that he finally disposes of the rotting corpse. I would guess in the sewer, as you do. Yeah, he was dead for at least one full issue before Spider-Man got rid of his body. That, you would think it'd start to smell. But we are going to jump not to a later issue, but to a whole new series. And that would be Spider-Woman #1. To know her is to fear her. Spider-Woman, first spectacular issue, now in her own book. The superheroine sensation they said couldn't be done. Special origin, all the world's against her.
Dedicated to fighting evil while weaving her web of justice, it's Spider-Woman.
And Raze has mentioned this along with the Funko comic cover of She-Hulk. These came out roughly about the same time. Probably less than roughly, very, very close together. Spider-Woman and She-Hulk. They first just rushed them to print, and there was a big reason for that. And the big reason for that was the Bionic Woman. There used to be a show, which, you know, my diehards out there are going to know, it's the $6 Million Man, that it was very, very successful. And every season, anytime you have a successful running TV series, every year, the cast and the crew basically want more money to come back. And they just basically asked for too much this time. And that is not uncommon. That is not being an actor. You kind of want to spread what you. I mean, there's always that choice. You want to spread and show what else you can do versus wanting to keep the steady job. And you know, actors aren't working for a specific company. They don't have like an open-ended job. So anytime they're able to work and be guaranteed work, they are absolutely happy. They are secure because their name's still getting out there. Well, the studio didn't want to do that with them. They didn't want to pay the extra money. And they got the idea that, you know, okay, $6 Million Man, you know, we own all the property of it, but we don't want to pay these people. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make another one, bring in a new actress and a new everybody that we don't have to pay as much, and hopefully the audience from the $6 Million Man will latch onto the Bionic Woman. And yeah, the creator of the $6 Million Man had no say in it because, you know, obviously that's part of the reason why adaptations change from the original idea, is so they can actually own that intellectual property. Stan Lee had 2 shows going on. There was a Spider-Man TV series going on, and there was a Incredible Hulk TV series going on. And he did not want the studios to do that crap to him. So his brilliant idea, let's make She-Hulk, let's make Spider-Woman before the studios get that idea. So even if they do it, they still have to pay us. So yes, purely out of necessity is the reason those 2 characters even exist. And Spider-Woman actually does not first appear in this issue. She actually appears in a couple of Marvel Premiere anthology books. They kind of tested her a little bit to get her published. She-Hulk's first issue is her origin story and her becoming She-Hulk. But Spider-Woman, they had her make some other appearances as they fleshed out her costume and, you know, figured out her story. They just wanted to make sure they got that Spider-Woman published somewhere before the studios could try that little trick on them. But it looks like we're going right into a we went from the first issue of Spider-Woman going to Amazing Spider-Man number 194, which goes from not her first appearance, but to a first appearance of somebody else, featuring a startling new villainess. Never let the Black Cat cross your path. And yes, this is the first appearance of the Black Cat, who is a love interest to Spider-Man. And what I always loved about Felicia Hardy, and then the Black Cat. I'm gonna take a look real quick. Al Milgram is the cover artist, and this is 1978 still. What I always loved about Black Cat was she was really attracted to Spider-Man, but she was not attracted to Peter Parker at all. Peter Parker was the gangly little dork, but when he put on the costume, became Spider-Man, then he was a badass. And yeah, it was one of those weird little romances that basically Peter Parker couldn't live up to, and she wanted them to basically be Spider-Man and Black Cat all the time. You know, it's just like, hey, let's just do whatever we want. Let's just go. Well, if we need anything, we'll take it. Like, well, we put these masks on and nobody can follow us. And that's why it ultimately didn't work, but there's always been a strong connection between the two.
Great working with you, Spider. Don't be surprised if I cross your path again.
Huh? But, hey!
Because she goes from being a villain to being an anti-hero to just basically being a wild card at times. And she absolutely works as that. But this is the first appearance of the Black Cat.
Spider-Woman.
You were expecting maybe the Hulk?
Then we jump over into Spider-Woman issue 20. Oh my god, I thought these were Spider-Man covers. But in a sense, it is. Because this guest stars Spider-Man. And this is actually, after 20 issues, this is actually the first time Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, not Spider-Man and Spider-Man, we did that issue. This is the first time that Spider-Man and Spider-Woman come face to face. And what I think is funny is that neither one of them recognizes the other as being, you know, I mean, sure, Spider-Woman's new. She may not be recognized. People are not going to know that. But, you know, this is 1979. Like, how does she not know who Spider-Man is yet? Like, he literally carried Gwen Stacy over the Brooklyn Bridge, I believe it was. I don't remember which bridge it is that they died on, but like, he's all over the freaking the newspaper as far as being a menace. How does she not know who Spider-Man is yet? Yeah, they are surprised to meet each other. They are surprised to find out that they are both heroes, and yeah, they have a little. They go against each other in this issue a little bit, but you know, that's what superheroes do. They fight each other, then they become friends. And but this is the first meeting of Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, and makes you can kind of tell that Spider-Woman was the sales on Spider-Woman weren't really like, you know, breaking any records if they brought Spider-Man to this issue instead of having Spider-Woman appear in The Amazing Spider-Man. Both would have been, you know, hey, promote this, but putting Spider-Man into the Spider-Woman series would get Spider-Man fans going to at least buy this one issue. So that tells me that, yeah, it wasn't, we don't want people to look at this and say, hey, let's go check this out. It was like, we want to send them over there. Buy the issue. We're trying to keep this character. We made it, we've got to use her. And that will lead us right to Amazing Spider-Man number 229. Nothing can stop the Juggernaut. And yeah, this is nice little battle between this is John Romita's back here, 1982. You've got Juggernaut going up against Spider-Man, which is one of those battle. I'm pretty sure this is the first time that these two like mix it up, but it's one of those. It's one of those battles that gets translated into other medium quite a bit. In any animated series, they always like to bring Juggernaut in. Basically because you have the unstoppable muscle going on versus Spider-Man's agility. And Spider-Man is holding Madam Web in the cover like, oh crap, what happened to her? And the only thing, I mean, Raze doesn't really... Obviously, Raze doesn't know if this is the first appearance or the first matchup between these two. Raze couldn't tell you anything more about this issue, except for the fact that that Black Tom Cassidy's in it, because Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut were an inseparable team for a long time. But yeah, that is issue 229. Where nothing can stop the Juggernaut. Hopefully I'm moving faster. I can never tell while I'm doing these. Next up we have issue 230. We're the very next issue. To fight the unbeatable foe. And we're going to keep on with this Juggernaut. And this is a much different cover going on here, because you got the full black and white cover of Juggernaut's head. And you've got a little Spider-Man swinging into it with his little spider senses going off. Of course, Juggernaut is something that Juggernaut takes on teams of villains. So you imagine that Spider-Man is not going to be able to take him down easily. What cracks me up, though, is that when people always make the association of Spider-Man versus Juggernaut, or Spider-Man versus the X-Men, Spider-Man usually does come out on top. And when that bothers some people, you've always got to remember Spider-Man's spider sense. Like, his agility and his just, I guess, battle awareness, that sixth sense helps him out of quite a bit. I just, it's one of those things where swarming him with the X-Men should be something that actually helps. But when he's got that sense that's telling him when danger is coming and what direction it's coming, yeah, he can sense danger coming from opposite directions and easily duck out of the way and have it cancel itself out. That's part of why Spider-Man is like the flagship character of Marvel, is because they really did set him up that way. Part of the reason why they keep bringing him back to being a teenager is to keep him young. The idea is that he is going to grow into the greatest hero of all time. That's why he is so close with, like, Spider-Man. That's why he gets into a mentor relationship with, say, Captain America or Iron Man. He is constantly learning. That's why he is hanging out at the Baxter Building with Johnny Storm, is to actually, you know, he's a scientist like Reed Richards. So yes, he latches on to these people that he knows that are better than him. And that is how you really succeed, is learning from somebody better than you. And that is always been Raze's mantra is to get better, learn from somebody who knows more, work with people who are better at it than you, because they can always bring you up. Of course, working with somebody who thinks they're better than you, detrimental. But yeah, that is why Spider-Man is one of those characters that, like, they kind of have to halt his progress at times, because the end game is him being the greatest hero. His arc is over once he gets to that. So let him continue. Let him be as seasoned as you want, but he never is completely that perfect hero, because that's the end of his journey. And next up, we are leading into one of the most ongoing mysteries in the Spider-Man lore. Personally, it's one of Raze's favorites. Let's see, bonus. Let's see, Amazing Spider-Man number 238, In the Shadow of Evil's Past. Bonus feature, free lakeside skin tattoos inside. Wonder if those are intact. But no, this is another John Romita cover. This is the first appearance of Hobgoblin. And Hobgoblin is one of the biggest mysteries in the Spider-Man lore, partially because you've got you basically have this costume. The thing about this costume, the Hobgoblin costume, is that the person wearing it has been in the Spider-Man series. There have been several different Hobgoblins. But even the original, he was a reoccurring character in Spider-Man's mythos, in Peter Parker's life, before he becomes this. There are a couple of names that are attached to Hobgoblin, Hobgoblin, and none of them. This is not the first appearance of any of them. Roderick Kingsbury is the primary Hobgoblin. He's the first one. He's the one appearing here. But in the other, the Spider Clone issue, which makes it fun when you're getting into the back stuff. The Spider Clone issue, the first appearance of that, the Jackal's actually holding Ned Leeds from the window. Ned Leeds becomes the Hobgoblin at a specific point. The big question when it comes to the Hobgoblin stories is who exactly is under the mask at this case? Roderick is the most likely answer, because he is the guy who actually goes and steals the Green Goblin's outfit. I think there was something to do with stealing the gas or something. Some kind of accident happens and changes the color of the costume. But yes, this is basically a Green Goblin costume, but different coloring. But obviously in future iterations they keep the coloring, so maybe they liked it. But yeah, Raze always liked the Hobgoblin more than the Green Goblin, just because that mystery was wrapped around it. You didn't know who was under that mask until they wanted you to know. Sometimes they don't keep it a secret, but other times, yeah, you don't know. That's the big mystery of the thing is who is coming after Spider-Man. Oh, it's Hobgoblin. That doesn't answer the question. You still don't know the who or why Hobgoblin's coming after you. So yeah, that's part of the reason why Hobgoblin was always one of Raze's favorites. And yes, now we have a very special, because Raze got a big glance of that. We have Marvel Tales number 1. It's Marvel Tales spelled Tales, starring Peter Porker, The Spectacular Spider-Ham, 1983. Yeah, how many people watched Into the Spider-Verse and thought that that character was created there? No, he's been around since 83. They did this nice little parody thing geared towards younger audiences. Cartoon animal versions of the Marvel Universe. Obviously, Spider-Man being the flagship character of Marvel, Spider-Ham's the flagship character of this weird, I don't remember what Earth number it is, but Marvel Tales starring Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham, with Hulk Bunny and Captain Americat. This was an ongoing series, and yeah, you've got it's also got the Goose Rider in there. Yeah, all the characters. One of the big fun things, Raze actually used to get the Spider-Ham books for a while when he was younger, primarily just because every new issue was going to have a different character alteration, another funny animal version of another Marvel character, and Raze just wanted to see him. Raze remembers the Kraven the Hunter parody. I think it was just he was a raven, I believe, if Raze remembers that correctly. Probably not, though. But the one Raze really remembers and loved was the Punifisher. It always cracked me up because you had this fish that was basically shooting people with smaller fish, and yeah, it worked. But yeah, that's the fun of Spider-Ham, and yeah, that a big reason why Raze was really excited to see Spider-Ham come back for a repeat appearance. So what do we got? Are we going back to? Oh, this is endings. Spider-Man issue. Did you see that? Amazing Spider-Man number 251. Fist coming out of the water, holding the Hobgoblin mask. Endings. This is the apparent death of Roderick Kingsley. Ed Hannigan cover. And that's why when Ned Leeds dons the costume, it gets confusing because this is right after the first appearance. I believe this is the very next issue, isn't it? 238 versus 251. There may have been an overarching story. Raze isn't 100% positive. You get these older. They put out these. This is 84. It was one of those things where once you had one Hobgoblin that was gone, another one somebody else would come and take their costume and be Hobgoblin, and then one of the people that were apparently dead would come back and want the costume back or get a different costume or something. But yeah, that's why Hobgoblin is a reoccurring and confusing villain, because not only is it just, oh, we defeated him, it's no, we killed him. But spoiler alert, this one's is still alive and kicking, as far as Raze knows.
That plastic kid.
Yeah. And it looks like we are getting into a more confusing area. Why does this fall down? He needs to put like something to keep this guy up. My goodness. This is bothering me. But we have got Amazing Spider-Man number 252, and Raze has done a comic cover of this one. If you really want to check it out, it's in the comic cover playlist, which Raze has thought about putting these videos into that playlist, but he's going to keep it. He's going to keep that specific kind of pop going on in those. But yes, Amazing Spider-Man. The rumors are true. Introducing the new Spider-Man. So yeah, the issue before this basically has Spider-Man just disappearing and not really sure where he's going. He's going into the Secret Wars, and obviously the Secret Wars was a multiple issue miniseries, but you know, this issue, you know, issue number 252, yeah, well, what are we gonna do for that issue? Because Spider-Man, they haven't told the story of Spider-Man and how he got this new black costume. So yeah, this is the first appearance of Spider-Man in the black costume. This is the symbiote costume, and this is the first appearance of it. So even though he doesn't get it till the end of Secret Wars hasn't happened yet. So it was really kind of a tough situation to be in because you know, they had to do the disappearance to heighten the excitement for Secret Wars, because that was what they were marketing. But at the same time, it's just like, if Spider-Man's coming back with a new costume, we kind of have to give that away. So even though Spider-Man doesn't get the symbiote attached to him till later on in the Secret Wars miniseries, he's got it on here. So even if you were following that, it'd be like, oh wait, well, when does this happen? So you had to finish that, yeah, it got confusing. Yeah, I mean, it was especially confusing at the time because you've got the Spider-Man in the black costume, which has all these amazing abilities, and Spider-Man's getting more aggressive. You don't understand why. Especially because in Secret Wars, he's still the same old Spider-Man. And I remember being a little kid. How funny is this? So, kids in comics are an absolute scream. When did this come out? 1984. Raze was a little kid at the time. And loved Spider-Man. And, well, it didn't really... He was already a Batman fan at that time, but he hadn't really delved that much into Marvel at this point. But seeing the Black Spider costume, he'd asked somebody, an older person, who lied to Raze. Raze had asked, like, why does he wear this new costume? And the problem was, or what the answer that he got, somebody said the original spider that bit Spider-Man to turn him into Spider-Man, like, basically falls onto his hand and starts crawling up his arm. And it turns his costume black. And it made him more powerful. And that was all you needed to really convince a young, I mean, this is pre-teen. Raze wasn't even a teenager at this point. So the sad thing is I think Raze even forgot about somebody telling him that till much later. So he already knew about the whole symbiote thing. He discovered later what it actually was, and then kind of remembered that somebody fed him some BS. So I don't know if you consider that convinced if I didn't remember it long enough for it to actually mean anything. But this is where it all starts. The symbiote saga starts right here, even though he hasn't shown up, even though you still don't even know how he got the costume. I don't even think they did a flashback at that point. I don't even think they mentioned the Secret Wars, but they didn't mention that it was in the flashback that's where the costume came from. And we're moving right along, and we're moving to 258, which, okay, this is where Spider-Man starts to discover that, yes, this is not this is not just a costume. This is this is a parasite. Ron Friend's cover.
Nothing on Earth could do what this does.
This is the first time Spider-Man essentially goes to the Fantastic Four in order to get Reed's version of, hey, you know, something's going on here. Hope you can help me out with it. You are in the Secret Wars too, so you saw me get this costume. It's when they determine that it is a symbiote, and it is a parasite that has attached and bonded itself to Spider-Man, and yeah, they need that off of him. They essentially, you know, the symbiote's weakness is usually, you know, sonic or fire, so they essentially get the symbiote to separated from Peter Parker, so they're no longer bonded, and Peter Parker immediately wants to go home, yeah, the problem with that is that why is Peter Parker naked in in New York City? How are they going to get him home? Well, they give him a spare Fantastic Four costume, so he's covered. But at the same time, like, why is Peter Parker wearing a Fantastic Four costume? And plus, you know, he's just like that. He doesn't have any money for the bus or a cab or anything. So he doesn't even have, since the symbiote actually replaced his costume, and the webbing came from that, he didn't even have his web shooters. And so their brilliant idea is for Spider-Man to go with the Fantastic Four costume with with basically a bag over his head. And yeah, that's where the bombastic baghead first appears, because somebody asks who he is. And this has made its way into the bombastic baghead actually made appearances in Spider-Man games. What would really be hysterical, in Raze's opinion, some of you have already figured out what I'm doing with this. If they did one of the Funko comic covers of this issue, but used use the opportunity to make the bombastic baghead as a Funko Pop in there, even though it has nothing to do with the cover, that would be a grail. That would be like the king moment. And hopefully, since Raze has said it and put it on the internet, somebody's going to do it. One could hope. Nobody watches this. Nobody watches these long-ass videos. And next up, we finally get it. Okay. So, December 8th of 1984. Hang on a second. Let me take a look real quick here. This is May of 1984. This one is November of 1984. So we already know that he's got a new costume, and it's a symbiote attached to it. Lovely. Now, Peter Parker gets the costume. So you get to see him wander blindly into getting this symbiote that bonds itself to him. Amid the chaos, there is a costume. And yeah, you get the battle going on with heroes versus villains in here. On Battle World, I guess you'd say. This is Secret Wars number 8. This was a real big deal, but this was one of the worst kept secrets here, because by the time you got this issue, you already knew what the costume was. So when Spider-Man goes back into battle and he's got this costume on, and suddenly he's stronger and he's you already know why. They hadn't introduced the V word yet, but yeah, this is where they actually get attached. So as weird as it sounds, the sequence here is a little confusing if you read them in sequence. If you actually stopped reading Amazing Spider-Man at the issue that he disappeared, then read the Secret Wars series, and then picked up again at the previous issue, then it would probably make a lot more sense. But you wouldn't have quite as many flashbacks because they didn't want any spoilers to this series. They had to make sure they knew what issue of Secret Wars was coming out when Spider-Man did any kind of, remembering what had happened, so they wouldn't give anything away. Oh, God, you want to talk about problematic editing. Continuity guys going nuts. Then we get to Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 99. We're not in the Amazing Spider-Mans all of a sudden. They decided it was too much. We've got the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 99, covered by Al Milgrom. He's just gotten the... this is not long after he gets the symbiote taken off of him, and he has a run-in with the Spot.
Yeah. Say, I hate to interrupt, but are you planning on stealing that really big pile of money there?
Yes. Rather.
Which, this is not the Spot's first appearance. But the only thing really significant that happens in this issue is that he does meet up with the Black Cat again. And the Black Cat brings him the black costume. Not the Venom symbiote costume, but basically she makes one out of actual fabric. Because it pairs so well with the Black Cat costume. She's like, hey, I understand why you don't have that one anymore, but hey, I'll make you one. And you can run off and be happy with me. And oddly enough, Spider-Man kind of digs it. And so, he's going to go ahead and knock himself out with this. So yeah, by the next issue, he's back in the black costume, but an actual costume and not the actual symbiote. So yeah, that's why you have him up in the corner in the black costume. But so yeah, issue 101. They didn't give us Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 100. Okay. But yeah, this is Spider-Man in his costume. I believe this is another Funko cover that Raze has. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they did this version, black and white. They've done a couple sketch covers. So honestly, I kind of wish they did that with that one with this one, because it totally would have worked. But yeah, in this issue, essentially, Spider-Man, I believe this is the issue that Spider-Man actually returns home after being Spider-Man. And basically, when he appears, he scares Mary Jane. And she knows the bad that has come. She's associated the more aggressive Spider-Man with the black costume. And isn't necessarily pleased with it. Yeah, it turns into a thing that Mary Jane, Spider-Man, you need to stop wearing that. And that leads us right into the Web of Spider-Man #1, which they needed a hook for this one because, I mean, you already saw we've got the Amazing Spider-Man going on. We've got the Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man going on. We need another monthly Spider-Man issue, so this one is the Web of Spider-Man. And this one, okay, so part of the reason why Mary Jane did not like the black costume in the previous one is because even though they are separated from the symbiote, the symbiote's still out there, and it's basically sliming its way down to, I mean, it was attached to Spider-Man. It bonded with Peter Parker. And so, like with anything, it's basically going to try and reattach itself to Spider-Man. And it actually manages to do so while Spider-Man's wearing the black costume. And obviously Spider-Man doesn't recognize the fact that it is the Venom, basically the symbiote, because they already have the costume. So the costume is showing up in places where it's not supposed to be. This Spider-Man quickly realizes that, yes, the symbiote has replaced his black costume, and it's trying to bond with him again. And being more immediate, Spider-Man goes to, obviously he's on a church here, he goes to, the battle begins with Spider-Man versus the symbiote, which is happening primarily, how do you stop this thing from attaching itself? And he finally breaks the bond in this case, using sonic energy, and it's the church bells, and they are up in they're up there with the bell. In the church, and the bong is happening, and it's so intense it actually it breaks the bond completely. It basically, the symbiote was already feeling rejection from Spider-Man, but in this case it actually cements it. It basically it kind of permanently puts that hatred inside the symbiote for Spider-Man. So it will always be there even when they're allies. So yeah, it's a pretty big, this really is the last issue where Spider-Man actually wears the symbiote costume. What happens when Spider-Man puts that black costume away? We go to the giant-sized Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21. Spider-Man Annual number 21, 1987. How fun is this when you've got the Amazing giant-sized Annual and it's issue number 21? That means that 21 years has been going on since The Amazing Spider-Man has been published. That is saying quite a bit. That isn't 21 issues. Well, it's 21 issues, 21st issues, but the annuals are once a year. And this one is especially exciting because you've got all the characters in the background here. Here you've actually got Harry Osborn in costume right here. You've got J. Jonah Jameson, Robbie Robertson, Aunt May. Raze used to know everybody on the cover, but he's getting old. But yes, this is the special wedding issue of the Amazing Spider-Man, where Spider-Man marries Mary Jane, and you see what happens when you get away from when you throw out all your black clothes. And boom, they didn't give us issue 100 of Amazing Spider. Oh, did they? It's hard to say when they give us the anniversary, but now we have hit Amazing Spider-Man number 300. And yes, Raze just got done saying, you know, see what happens when he gets rid of his black clothes. Well, he is apparently in his costume again. And if you look really close, this is a Todd McFarlane cover that Raze has talked about quite a bit. No, not this one. Never mind. Raze is wrong. Todd McFarlane has redone this cover several times. A lot of people have actually done homage covers in this exact pose. But this is a Todd McFarlane cover. And he is wearing the black costume in this one. It's not the symbiote cover. There's a really easy way of telling a lot of times when people are looking at something and trying to figure out, like, oh, is he just wearing the black costume, or is he actually in the symbiote costume? There is a very, very specific difference. Spider-Man, his web shooters come out from under his wrist when he you know, does his web slinging. Zoom, it's coming out of the web shooter is poised out to come out of his wrist. The symbiote tended to take advantage of the white spot on the back of his hand, and that is where, since the symbiote, you know, the webbing was part of the symbiote anyway, that was where that's where that would usually shoot out. So you could usually tell by the way Spider-Man was flinging his webs, whether he was in the symbiote or not. And this is the first appearance of Venom.
We call ourselves Venom.
And you get to learn, you know, just you can see the way he was slinging. So while he's not on the cover, this is actually the first appearance of Venom. This is a treat. The cover seems rather tame, but, you know, at the same time, special 25th anniversary issue. And Raze had mentioned Amazing Spider-Man just going to issue 300. And this isn't to say that every month, you know, added up to 300. There were times where Spider-Man would end up being a weekly book, or they'd put out 2 issues at sometimes. But nevertheless, hitting a 300 issue milestone is definitely, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And we have got Amazing Spider-Man number 313. On the campus lurks the lizard. This is an Inferno tie-in. And yeah, you've got, this is another Todd McFarlane cover. You've got him holding on to Spider-Man, choking him. There's already blood you can see. Looks like the lizard's really going to get him. Spoiler alert! Lizard does not show up in this issue. Great misdirect as far as the cover goes, because you look at this, you're like, holy crap. You get it. You get all the way through the issue. Spider-Man is hunting the lizard down, but he never actually finds him in this issue. I don't even believe the lizard actually makes an appearance in this issue at all. You will see the after effects. You will see Spider-Man, the clues that Spider-Man finds as he's investigating and trying to track the lizard down. But he doesn't show up. He's just not there. Sorry. But what I really love about this issue, or about this cover, aside from the weird little Spider-Man McFarlane thing, the little corner bit here with the flames around him for some reason. One of the things I used to love about Todd McFarlane's covers is just that he did put so much detail in here. I love the fact that Spider-Man has rips on his costume, you know, due to the fight that doesn't happen in this issue. He's got blood markings. You can see, you know, it's a nice little reminder that Spider-Man doesn't actually wear armor of any kind. You know, on campus lurks the lizard. Yes, Spider-Man is running around on a college campus. He's got his costume on underneath. The gloves cover all the way half up his forearm, so Spider-Man could basically have the majority of his costume on, except for, you know, the mask and the gloves, just kind of, you know, secreted to the side. But otherwise, people aren't going to notice, even if his sleeves right up, that he's actually got the costume on under there. Or Raze, for that matter. You can't even tell what he's wearing under here. Yeah.
I'm on my way back to the garage. Where you want to go to? Hey, man, I don't want to mess with you.
Open the door, would you please? I'm not feeling well.
I'm not feeling so well myself. Excuse me, I'm in a hurry.
Look, I'm coming home from a masquerade party. Now, don't get scared.
You don't even have pockets in that suit.
Well, I'll pay you at my house.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not taking no Spider-Man to that part of town.
And that brings us to our last issue, which is, oh yeah, here we go. This was on the other issue. This is issue number 316 of The Amazing Spider-Man. This is, I love how they put it on the top, the non-mutant superhero. This is because basically all of Marvel's books were completely dominated by mutants, except for Spider-Man. Even when the stories were bad, people followed Wolverine everywhere. Spider-Man was the only one that could really hold his own against the popularity of the X-Men. The Avengers suffered. They would be big. They wouldn't be, depending on who was on the team. You know, it was really the Avengers, if they could do anything, is to band a bunch of fan favorites together. But their roster wasn't always solid, and some people didn't like certain lineups, so their following would wane at times. But like Spider-Man and the X-Men were pretty much solid because, yeah, you could be weirder in the X-Men than you could be with basically grabbing other characters, because basically the Avengers roster depended on where. Basically the three little tombs of Marvel, or four if you want to put it that way. You would break it up into the Spider-Man titles. You would break it up in which, you know, that was kind of by itself. Whenever Marvel would release trading cards, they would release the Marvel Universe, and then they would release the Spider-Man line. And then they would release the X-Men. You would usually get 3 sets of trading cards, you know, one of each. And that was really kind of the way they separated the universes, because even younger, when Raze would read the X-Men, it didn't feel like it was in the regular Marvel universe. And for the most part, Spider-Man would get closer and interact more. And if you thought, okay, well, that the Marvel Universe, that would have meant the Avengers, and not really. It was closer to meaning the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four was a long-running series, and Raze is trying to catch himself. This isn't about the Fantastic Four. This is about Spider-Man. The world is trying to stop me. I swear, I'll get back to it. Okay. The Fantastic Four was the primary introduction of new characters. If you look at first appearances for Marvel characters, you will find more first appeared in the Fantastic Four, which, you know, Lee and Kirby did that most. Wow, they really tear you up when they think you're going off the rails. Lee and Kirby, you know, they started the Avengers, but then they passed it on. But like the Fantastic Four, they established that, Reed Richards was always exploring, and they were the foremost super team. And a lot of characters originated from Fantastic Four adventures, going to other dimensions and everything, and introducing new villains. A lot of their exploration of the universe is where we got several of the expanded Marvel universe. They're part of the reason why it's so big. Once the characters were established and had been introduced, then they could go join the Avengers. But even though the Avengers did do some exploration, it was the Fantastic Four that really expanded the universe. So, we're going to get back to Spider-Man now, because we've got one card left. And it is, as he said, the non-powered superhero. Amazing Spider-Man number 316. Venom is back.
Now, don't worry. We're not gonna finish you yet, Parker.
And yes, this is Venom returning. Eddie Brock, they are bonded now. So now he is Venom. And while even before, everything before this point, like, you thought, okay, we need to get Eddie Brock and the symbiote separated again. Even though they're calling themselves Venom, this was the issue that basically established, no, Venom's here, Venom's staying. So, big issue there. Raze wants to get into the next one. Raze so wants to get into the next one, because that's what he is. And Raze is, in fact, going to get into the next one. But unfortunately, you're going to have to wait. So yeah, I hope that this Raze isn't going to know till he edits this thing if he has gone off the rails a little too far, which it kind of started to at the end there. But yeah, the Raze is going to go ahead and stop here now to stop this monster from getting any bigger. Like I said, there's going to be, he's doing these, it's the 100 collectible comic book cover postcards, and Raze is going to do them 25 at a time. This has been the second one, so if you haven't checked out the last one, go ahead and get into that one. I mean, a lot of comic covers, as you can see, and Raze does his best to move along, but as you can see in this video, Raze gets long-winded, and just kind of, I'm here now. But probably gonna do a playlist. Put the first one in there, put the second one in there. We're gonna have 2 more of these videos with Raze, like Raze going through the other half of these. Yes, we are at the halfway point. So hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below which one of these issues was your favorite. Which cover was your favorite? You didn't really necessarily have to like the issue, but really interested in what your favorite cover of this bunch was. Just at random, was it Spider-Man meeting Spider-Woman? Was it the Peter? How did I do that? How the Spider-Ham appearance? Or was it Spider-Man in his black costume? That was actually a little bit fun. It was like a nice little commercial. It's just like, oh, tune in to the next episode where he goes through, and will it be Spider-Man meeting a Black Cat? Spider-Man fighting Juggernaut? Spider-Man versus the Spot? Dude, that's just fun. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to go ahead and let you get out of here now. Raze is going to get out of here now. Well, he's not going to get out of here. He's going to keep making these, but you're going to get out of here now. And I hope you'll come back and join me when as I go through the other half of these. I hope you have a great day, and never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.